Hello everyone and welcome back to This Is Real Life. I'm your host Sheri, and on today's Real Life Friday video, we're gonna find out if I'm the bad neighbor. So I just got back from the pole studio and it's a beautiful day out and I am needing to do some yard work, but I am so torn. Let me give you some backstory. Maybe you guys can help me out. Maybe you guys can relate. I don't know, but I feel like this is one of those like video diaries. I'm torn and I don't even know where to begin. So as you know, I purchased this house about a year ago. It is great, but the yards are not what I want at all. There's lawn everywhere and I hate lawn. It takes up way too much water. And in this town, it's like drought city disco every single day. And in the summer, lawns just turn to shit. Dead, yellow, brown. It doesn't even matter how much you water them. And you can't even water them that much because we're on a very strict watering schedule. So at my old house, we ripped out all the lawn in the front and the back, and we did like drought tolerant landscaping in both the front and the backyard. And I loved it. Saves on mowing, saves on water. It's a win-win. So the plan is for sure in the front yard, I'm totally letting my grass die right now. I'm not watering it. For one reason, I can't figure out how to get the automatic sprinklers turned on in the front. They only come on in the back and I don't know why. And for two reasons is I want to rip that lawn out. However, why I'm thinking I'm the bad neighbor is because I'll show you, it's embarrassing. That front lawn is totally 100% completely dead. While a couple of videos back, it was like, curb appeal is contagious, and I laid all this bark and it was looking good. Now it looks like complete and utter dog shit. So last weekend, there was a sale at the Home Depot, which yes, I am still protesting. However, it's not a very good protest because I keep going back there and buying shit because they have really good sales. They had 5 bags of bark for $10. So I stocked up. How many bags of bark did I buy? Like 30? And it's just on my side yard, just waiting for me to use it in some way, shape, or form. But I only spent like $60 and I got all of this bark. So I was super excited. However, again, it's just stacked on my side yard. So the plan is I need to rip out all of the front lawn. And that is going to be some very back-breaking work. If you've never ripped out a lawn before, it's no fun. My old house, it was miserable. I don't want to do it again, but I'm gonna have to do it again. So the plan for the front yard is rip out the lawn, get that shit organized, and get some curb appeal back so that my neighbors don't look at me and be like, oh, okay, lady, practice what you preach, why don't you? And don't worry, I'll show you. I'm gonna show you everything. It's a shit show. It's kind of embarrassing. Hopefully you guys can relate, and hopefully you don't judge me on how disgusting my yards are. So then that brings us to the saga of the backyard, which is where I'm sitting right now. And from this vantage point, it looks pretty nice, but it's not. It's all a facade. There's lawn where I'm sitting right now, like a cement pad with like rocks in the middle because the previous owner had a spa in this location. They removed the spa. And so right now I just have patio furniture and a fire pit sitting here to make some sense of why there's this cement pad with rocks in the middle. There's zero shade in this backyard. Why I look super shady is I bought a hideous canopy just for like $100 and I popped it. It's like a pop-up, like, is someone having a fucking tailgate in my backyard? Because that's what it looks like. This was never supposed to be a permanent situation. However, it's been up for a year now. But the goal is to get rid of this and then to redo this backyard as well. I want to get some cement poured. I want to build an overhang over my dining room table that's out here. And originally, I wanted to get a pool back here. That was my number one goal. I had a pool at my old house. I fucking love my pool. So I had a pool guy come out. He was like, yeah, totally. We sat right here. It was a father-son situation, came as a referral. I was like, yes, do me a pool. Now, minimum cost for a pool in my town is $40,000. I don't have $40,000, so I was gonna have to finance it, which was super fine. I'm already broke. Why not be more broke and have a pool? He said he'd put together a drawing for me, send it on over, yada, yada, yada. Never heard back from him ever again. Ever. So I was like, okay. So then I had another pool person come out to give me an estimate. And they walked back here and they looked up and they said, oh, we can't build you a pool. And I was like, why? And he said, because you have the power cords, which I'll show you. You're gonna get a tour, don't worry. These power lines that feed your house, my neighbor's house, and my other neighbor's house. And he's like, if we put a pool back here and one of those power lines snapped and fell into your pool, everybody in your pool is fucking electrocuted. You're all dead. The only way you can build a pool back here is in this one tiny little square area, basically like where I'm sitting, where the spa is. Because if any of those electrical cords snapped, they would miss the pool. But the pool, again, would only be like a 10 by 10 square. So he's like, not doable. You can go ahead and call PG&E and see if they will move the power pole, move the lines, what have you. So I did call PG&E, and you have to get a permit. And then PG&E was saying, and then we're gonna have to discuss who's paying for the moving of the power poles. And I was like, I'm not fucking paying for the moving of the power poles, no fucking way. So long story short, I decided maybe this is not a pool backyard, which I was kind of bummed out about, but I came to terms with it. I was like, okay, well, it's not like you swim laps. You just want a pool to like lay out in and drink beers in. And basically it's the party backyard, but could it be a party backyard without a pool? Yeah, it totally could be a party backyard without a pool. We get some patio, we build up a deck back here. We put like a fire pit over here, string up lights. We have some shade covering. Party backyard all day, day. Well, then I was perusing the old YouTubes and I saw where people are doing pools out of stock tanks, which if you don't know what a stock tank is, it's just this giant round, like galvanized metal, 2 feet deep, basically they have them in 6 foot, 8 foot, 10 foot round. These stock tank pools are fucking darling, and they totally serve the purpose of what I need. Come out here in the summer, cool off, drink a beer, have a great time, donezo. I was looking around at all of my stores, and we have this store called Tractor Supply, and they have stock tanks. Well, it turns out that they have a 10-foot stock tank. However, when I went there yesterday, the 10-foot stock tank is sold. Someone put it on layaway. So there's only 2 other stores in the whole area of California that have 10-foot stock tanks. They're 3 hours away, and they won't do store transfer, so I physically have to drive 3 hours, rent a trailer, drive 3 hours to go get one, which I can. The 10-foot stock tanks that they have are $799. There's this place that is just outside of Bakersfield, which is, again, 3 hours away. They have a company, they specialize in stock tank pools. So they have a variety of sizes of stock tanks, and their stock tanks are seamless, and they're made for and meant for people to make pools out of them. So they are more expensive because they're not a stock tank for farm animals. I called them. They have a 9-foot stock tank that is like $150 more expensive than the Tractor Supply 10-foot stock tank. Either way, I'd have to drive 3 hours to go get either one of them, renting a trailer, gas, what have you. So now I'm torn because I could just go to my local Tractor Supply and grab an 8-foot stock tank. Those are $599, let's say. I'd save a ton of money, but it is a smaller stock tank. I'm contemplating it. I don't know what to do. And I've been sitting in my house, like in this spot, for probably an hour, wasting time on what to do. I've been looking up like renting a U-Haul. Then I have to get one of those ball hitch things for my truck, drive to wherever. Should I just suck it up and say 8 foot is big enough? I don't really know. So what my plan is, in this area, I want to clear it out, and I want to take some spray paint and draw like an 8-foot circle and a 9-foot circle and a 10-foot circle to see like how big, and then maybe make my decision from there. Some part of me wants to just suck it up because I did look at my checking account, and I was like, okay, I did all the math for a 9-foot stock tank, all said and done, about $1,500. Pool pump, chlorine stuff, the drill, the cover, the whatever. So $1,500, far cry from $40,000. So I'm all in. but then that excludes all the wood I would need to build the deck around it and just everything else that needs to go on. Money-wise, I'm torn between like, why don't you just save yourself $300 fucking dollars and go over and get the 8-foot stock tank, which you could put in your truck right now. You don't have to rent a trailer. You don't have to do anything. You know, it's like one of those times where you wish you just had somebody to just say, do this, because so many pros, cons, what have you, running through my head right now. It's just making me kind of stop everything, and I'm not moving forward with a damn thing, which again is making me be the bad neighbor. So they're really, really cute. Slightly white trash, but the way people have been putting like decks around and step ups and everything, I think they're so darling. And I mean, I can just picture myself, you know, with the deck built around it, have ice chests full of like vodka lemonades, sitting in my stock tank, cooling off, catching some rays. I think it'll be fabulous. And you want to know what else is cool about the stock tank pool? You can turn it into a jacuzzi. You just buy like a heating unit thing, and then boom, 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 you go from summer to winter, all for $1,500. Well, when you buy the heater, it's going to be a little more, probably another $500. So let's just call it for $2,000. You got a pool and a jacuzzi. Takes you all through all the seasons. But I'm, again, torn between 8, 9, and 10, which I think when we draw the circles out, we'll have a better idea of that. The thing about yards is redoing them is not cheap. It's definitely going to be very labor intensive. There are some things which I probably could do if I really put my mind to it, because you know me, I can do any damn thing I want. But I do want some patio poured, which I could pour my own patio, but I'm thinking that I probably should hire someone to pour the patio portion. And I have a feeling that's gonna be another good like $2,500. That's me guesstimating. I don't know. Could be less, could be more. I have no fucking clue. I've never had a patio. Well, I had a patio poured in our old house a long time ago along the side yard, but this is way more patio. So we're looking at like $2,000 for the stock tank pool, maybe another $2,000 for the patio, and that's just the backyard. We haven't even gotten into the deck and the landscaping and the ripping out of all of this fucking grass. It's like, I want to start on the backyard, but my front yard is such a shit show. I know my neighbors are dying right now. It's a disaster. And it turned to a disaster really fucking quick, within like 2-3 weeks. Part of me is like, can you just buy some green spray paint and spray paint that front dead grass and so it looks like it's live grass? Because I really want to start on my backyard right now. But I have a feeling I'm gonna have to start in my front yard. It's gonna be an all summer long process, which is why I want the stock tank pool here so I could cool off. So I almost feel like I want to do the stock tank pool, at least get it in here, get everything hooked up so I have some place to cool off while I'm digging out all my front yard grass. I don't know, I'll show it to you guys and maybe you guys can, I mean, do you think maybe I can still just leave the front yard for a while? I don't know. You want to take a tour? Let's take a tour. So I'm walking out my front door right now. Look at this shit show. This is my front yard, you guys. I was bitching about my neighbors. Look at this. It's dead. The bark looks nice, but all of this, and then look, I've even letting these flowers die that were here before. The side on the street, that's all dead. Ugh. It's a disaster. I really have to get it ripped out like now, don't you think? And I do have a plan. It's not that I don't have a plan. It's just that it's such hard work I don't even want to begin. Because my driveway curves around and there's really no walkway up to my front door, my plan was to rip all of this out, recycle all the pavers from my backyard, and do a path that goes through here out of pavers up to my front door. All of this would be landscaped, drought tolerant, maybe some river rock intermixed with like bark and some lantana and all that good stuff. There definitely is a plan, but I gotta rip out all of that, not to mention all of that right there on the side. That's gonna take me 8,000 million years. And this is gonna sound super, super petty, but then what I want to do, because I'm not happy with my neighbors' yards, I want to put like a barrier. You see how like that blends in? I want to do like a hedge or like a half fence or a low fence, like right here on this side, as well as right here on this side, to say like, no, That's their yard. That's not my yard. Their yard could look dead and gross, but my yard's gonna look pretty. Again, more wood, more added expense. I could like dig and shovel all of this up, but they do rent like kind of a jackhammer tool with like a shovel end to it. So you can go like go, 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 and get all of this out. And I'm not only gonna have to get this out, but I'm gonna have to dig it down a little bit deep, maybe 2 inches, so that if I do river rock or bark or whatever sort of landscaping I do here, that it doesn't wash off and fall into the sidewalk. I know, it's $1 million and it's 1,000,000 hours of work. So I'm sitting on my front porch now, just looking at the shit show that is my front yard. If I'm gonna start ripping out the front yard, I gotta start ripping it out today. And the other sucky thing is, you know, I have a full-time job. So I'm only gonna be able to do this on the weekends, which is not a lot of time. It's the overwhelming situation. I'm frozen in time because I look and I know how much work it is going to be. And I know that most likely I'm going to be doing all of the work myself. It's like I don't even want to do it. Do you ever get into those situations where it's like, yeah, no, I don't want to do it. Let me just let it look like shit. Because I'll tell you, there's a whole nother thing. Oh gosh, if you could live in my mind right now, you would drive yourself crazy. Because there is another part of me that is like, you have a limited amount of funds. Do you take all of those funds that you have saved up and put it all back into this house? Make the front yard amazing, make the backyard amazing, finish up the shit on the inside, make that amazing. You've used all your money, this is where you're staying, everything looks great, it's perfect, done, done, and done. Or, which is what I've been contemplating, it's like maybe just figure out how to turn the water back on, get this grass like growing, spray paint it green, whatever. Don't spend a lot of money on it. Don't spend a lot of money on that backyard either. Maybe don't even do anything in that backyard. Just keep mowing the lawn and try to keep it as green as possible. Save up that money that I have saved, and then maybe find another house to live in. I don't know if I want to live in this house forever. While the neighborhood is nice and quiet and all of that, I'm just not sure if this location is where I want to like spend my years and die. For the time being, it's fine, but who knows what's going to happen in 5-10 years from now. I wish I could know the future. I'm sure like everybody, like we just don't have unlimited funds. I am of the mindset that you don't spend money you don't have. I don't typically put things on a credit card. I steer real clear of that. So I'm like, okay, well, if I don't start now, summer's gonna be goddamn over. I'm not gonna be able to enjoy my stock tank pool because it's gonna be cold again before I have enough money to get everything that I wanna get done. And so then that brings me back to why spend all your money doing all of this if you're thinking that you don't even wanna stay here forever. So while you're mulling over that and all the decisions that I need to make, let me take you on a tour of my shitty ass backyard so you can see where we stand there. Okay, you're looking at it. I'm standing outside of my back patio door. This is a shit show that is my backyard. And isn't that pretty? That's not supposed to stay there, but it's the only thing giving me shade. And there is the pad where the spa was that I've kind of turned into somewhere I can sit and relax and get some shade. What's cool is that is a little storage shed. So that's gonna stay because this is where I house all of my holiday decor, the lawnmowers on that side, whatnot. Remember those? We refinished those, but look, they're not next to a pool or anything. That's kind of dumb. See how they have all these like weird mismatchy pavers and then they made their own patio right here? I'm gonna rip these all out, pick the ones I like, recycle them, and do the path up to my front door by recycling these. They're only like $1, but I've got $1 million of them. And look at how lovely all the weeds are. Yeah, it's disgusting. Oh, the fences, they also need to be redone. And they have dogs. I'm whispering in case they're out there. And see how I've had to shove rocks and shit? It's because their dogs dig under and then come into my house. So I've gotta do something with that, not to mention the fact that I'd love to redo this fence. And then that fence is probably the original fence that was here when these houses were first built in like 1954. Yeah, another added expense. That's not gonna happen right now. Okay, I'm about to show you my side yard. You cannot judge me at all. Okay, so thankfully there is a gate here to block this because when you see it, you're gonna die. This is the side yard. There's all my bags of bark that I purchased. Look at them all, waiting to be used. The plan here is that I would like patio poured from that fence all the way down and make this a nice walkway. Then come out through here, make this a walkway, but kind of give it some more shape, like curve out maybe. As we get down here, like curve out and make this patio area bigger, and then build like an overhang over that area to offer me some shade. And then I was thinking, and that's Gray Cat. He's not my cat, but I've been feeding him, so he now stays in my backyard. I was thinking put the stock tank pool here with a deck behind it that steps down, and do like a whole deck in that corner right here. Take out these bushes, and then this would be gone so that we could be in the pool, get some sun, lay out on the deck, and then maybe over here do like another really cute like stepping stone-y type of pavery area to put a fire pit here. I mean, the plan sounds good, don't you think? Yeah, that's the situation. I think that me giving you the tour kind of answered my own question. Yes, I am the bad neighbor. My front yard looks like a shit show. My backyard, which no one can see but me, but also looks like a shit show. And I definitely need to do something about it. But that something is where I am torn. Because again, it comes down to time and it comes down to money. I mean, so here's the other thing. I do love the inside of my house. I do. And what I've been doing to it and the other things that I want to do to it, like, I love it. I'm just so unsure about the surrounding areas. And the city is doing like a walking path on the main street here, which that will beautify it. There were homeless people because there's like a canal out that way, and they would basically set up camp out there, and it was not good. Now that has been cleaned up because they are beautifying that whole canal area, and they're making it like this really nice walking path. So one could hope that, like, curb appeal is contagious, the city doing all of that out there would also make the surrounding neighborhoods, because my neighborhood's kind of more like inlet, so I really only see that when I need to drive to the Starbucks or go to work or whatever. But when I'm in my own neighborhood, it's perfectly fine and nice. But do I want to deal with something that could go way more downhill for the rest of my life? Because I'm sorry, I'm just gonna say it. It's not fucking fun to go to the Starbucks and every single morning, or go to the gas station every single morning without fucking fail, someone is asking me for change every morning. Come on, man. I know you guys are like, Sheri, watch it. I'm trying to watch it, but I'm also trying to be very truthful here, because like right now, I don't have my roof or my doors on my Jeep. And in the past, I didn't care. Leave stuff in the back of my car, leave stuff in the bed of my truck. No one's gonna steal this. No one steals anything in the area I used to live, which mind you is like 7 minutes that way. Isn't it weird how like cities and towns, they change so much depending on where you are? Like last weekend, I was running errands. I had a bunch of stuff in the back of my car, but I needed to make one more stop. But I was like, well, I can't. I'm not parking my car with all the shit in it with no doors and no roof, because I will come out of the store and all the shit will be stolen. So I had to come home first, drop everything off, and then go back out, which is a huge pain in my ass. So it's like, do I want to continue to deal with that? Oh, perfect example. The other day, I'm driving down the main street where they're doing all the beautification. I was watching someone cross, I want to say it's 4 or 5 lanes, because it is a main street out there. Someone was walking across all the lanes of traffic, dragging a mattress behind them. And the mattress was piled with a bunch of trash and shit on it. They drug it all the way across the 5 lanes over to the canal, drug it across the dirt, left the mattress with all of the trash at the canal, and then walked their happy ass back over into whatever they live in. Are you fucking kidding me right now? We literally just had the city cleanup come out where everybody put the shit on the curb and then the city comes and takes it all. You mean to tell me that you couldn't get your mattress of fucking trash on the curb in time? You had fucking months notice and you drug it out to the canal and left it there, and you think that's okay? Oh, and then, so I know, this Real Life Friday video is all over the place. I'm being real. So going back to I'm torn. Do I want to continue to live in this house? Again, I can't stress enough. While my actual neighborhood and street are lovely, my surroundings are not. Also, Davis is living with me now. He's in between houses. He has a friend. They're looking for a place, split the rent or whatever. So I've also thought, oh, okay, maybe you should become a real estate mogul. You're old. You have a little bit of 401k from your work, but for the most part, you're going to be working until you're 97 and you die at your desk. So maybe you should start trying to like expand your portfolio. If I could swing it, what if I purchased a smaller condo? I was gonna say for inexpensive, but the housing rates right now are through the fucking roof. Point of the story is, I've been looking for condos to see. Bad thing is since it wouldn't be my main residence, instead of 10% down, it requires 20% down, which I don't have 20% down. So I gotta figure that out. But anyways, I'm looking. The other day, I was looking and I saw this darling old house. 5-bedroom, 3-bath, pretty cheap. What if I could purchase that house for me and then have Davis and his friends rent this house from me? Hence, start my real estate mogul career. So I asked James at work because he's very familiar with the downtown areas. This house is downtown. Oh, it's so cute, you guys. I've lived in newer houses pretty much all my life. This is the first older home that I've purchased, and now I'm on an older home kick. I want them even older. You can't find that sort of charm unless it's in an older house, and I really loved the charm of an older home. So anyways, I asked James if he knew the area, and he goes, oh yeah, you don't want to live there. And I said, worse than like my area? He goes, 10,000 million times worse. You should do a drive-by at night, but I wouldn't go in your car right now with no doors. So I was like, oh, James, you're kind of being dramatic. So midday, I did a drive-by, and James was correct. It is like right in downtown. Like at the end of the street, there's like the community hospital. The corner, there's, I don't know, some safe haven home. I don't know what. Everybody's house is like covered in chain link. It was bad, but the house is so cute. Yeah, it's a pretty shitty neighborhood, but could I put up with it to have this super darling house? Part of me is thinking, maybe you could. But then another part of me is thinking, you literally just bitched about a guy dragging a mattress over across the street and leaving it at the canal. You think that that area is going to be any better than that? You're insane. It is not in the perfect location, hence why it is cheap, because if that house was anywhere else, it would be probably $100,000 more, if not more. But there is part of me that does really want it. So that brings me back to, if you're looking for houses, why are you going to waste all of your money on these yards? Why don't you fix up the bare minimum of shit that you need to fix up and then put it on the market and move to a house that maybe already has like a pool and already has like a nice yard? I keep going back and forth. I'm so wishy-washy. I don't know what to do. And I guess I'm here asking your help because maybe you've been in a similar situation. Maybe you have been torn. What did you do? Help a sister out. I need guardian angels on my side telling me what to do. Fix the yards, do the yards, dump all your money into it. You love your actual neighborhood. Who gives a shit what happens on the surroundings? So what when you go to the Starbucks, you have homeless people asking you for money every morning? Who cares? You love this house. So get it to where you really, really love it. Make your backyard super enjoyable. Have it be the fucking party house that you've always wanted. Or don't do any of those things. Just start watering that front lawn, get it back green, get some curb appeal up there, fix what needs to be fixed in this house, and then put it on the market and sell it. Wouldn't things be so much easier if we all had $1 million? Because really, I mean, if I even had just a little bit more savings in the bank, these decisions would probably be a lot easier. But because I don't, they're not. Again, that's why I'm kind of at this standstill. Like today, it is a weekend day and I haven't done shit. And I need to start doing some shit. Not to mention, keep up with DIYs and things like that. And it's like the longer you sit around and procrastinate, the longer you're not getting anything done. And the longer you are the bad neighbor. Because it looks to me, Sheri, like you don't take any pride in where you live. The shit that you bitch about from others, you're doing it. You're doing it right now. So get off your goddamn ass and get some shit done. But yeah, I need your guys' help because I don't know what to do. This is where like living by yourself kind of sucks. While I love living by myself, I've never lived by myself before. It's kind of nice to like make decisions for yourself, have no one question it. You know, you want to paint a whole wall orange and a fireplace orange, do it. No one's going to say anything to you. You can do whatever you want. I'm usually pretty decisive when it comes to the decisions I want to make. Where I find that I'm a little bit more indecisive is when the decisions that I'm trying to make cost me a lot of money. That is when I do want someone to be like, no, you're doing this. No more questions, no more thinking about it. You're just gonna do this. So I just really need to get off my ass and make some fucking decisions. And I don't wanna be that neighbor. I wanna be the neighbor that sets the precedence for the neighborhood. I wanna be the neighbor that all the other neighbors look at and go, yeah, her place looks pretty fucking nice. We need to step our shit up. So I guess I just answered my own question. I need to do something with that front yard, and I'm gonna need to start ripping out all the lawn. And that means, in turn, I gotta start ripping out all these fucking pavers. That's gonna be some back-breaking work. I need to go buy a wheelbarrow. Hopefully they're not that expensive. All right, I'm gonna get shit done, and you're gonna come along for the ride. Real Life Fridays / Landscaping 101. I don't know, and maybe you guys need to start sending me some emails of like inspiration photos and shit, because it's all right here, but I don't know. I need to get some spray paint and like spray some shit out, make some plans. So yeah, comment below if you'd like to come along for the ride. You may not have a choice because this may be what this is. It's gonna be hard, back-breaking work, but our goals are, we're not gonna be that shitty neighbor. We're not gonna spend a fortune. We're gonna try to do everything on a budget. We're gonna try to do as many things by ourselves as we possibly can, and we're gonna try to recycle materials that we already have in order to help keep costs down. So thank you for letting me talk this through, because I really think it was a big help. And again, if you have any suggestions, here are my things. What size stock tank pool do I get? Do I just suck it up and drive 3 hours and spend more money to get a larger one? Or do I just get the smaller 8-foot one and call it a day? I think 8-foot would be totally fine, but I would like to have a bigger one. Number 2, should I just do the bare minimum with the front yard? Should I just leave the front yard as it is and focus on the backyard? If I start ripping it out, there's no going back. That front yard's gotta be finished. Let me know what I should focus on. Front yard, backyard. Do you think the front yard's like that shitty to where it can't like wait a little bit longer? Let me know in the comments below. But again, thank you guys for letting me talk this out. I know this is a weird Real Life Friday video, but you know what? Like I always say, it is real life, and this is what my life is right now. It's a goddamn shit show. So I'm hoping maybe some of you can relate to the shit show that is my life. So that's it for this Real Life Friday. If you like this video, please be sure to give it a big thumbs up. Also, if you do like this video where I'm just kind of letting it all hang out, we're just, you know, a bunch of friends having a chat, let me know, because I have no problem sharing things like this with you. I just don't know if it's of interest. If you haven't done so already, please subscribe to the channel. Be sure to ring that notification bell so that you don't miss out on any of the Real Life Friday videos I push out, because I have a feeling from this point forward, the Real Life Friday videos are gonna get real interesting real fast. So make sure you ring that notification bell so that you don't miss a one. I push out my Real Life Friday videos every other Friday at 5:30 Pacific Standard Time. Make sure you share this one with your family and friends. And as always, thanks for hanging out.